Hello, Junior Learning House. So we're back and we're doing another video. So this one is another writing one. So we're going to have a look at our writing matrix. And although there's no title, we're up to number 7 today. And we've done all of the other ones. So they're all colored in. So if you have missed some of these, go back and watch a couple of the other videos that we've done. They're all labeled, but we are doing number 7 today. Write down 5 interesting questions beginning with when, where, who, why, and how, using a question mark. The example is, who are you going to the movies with? So can you first, before you do anything else, make sure you've got this heading. So pause the video and write this. 5 interesting questions, and we've got the date. So pause the video, and then we'll move on. So the first question is when. So we're going to write a sentence, and it's going to be a question, so it's going to need a question mark at the end, and it's going to start with the word when. So what's something interesting? I mean, you might be thinking, when is school going back? That's a good question, and that's an interesting question. That could be yours. You could write down, when are we going to live on Mars or a different planet? That's an interesting question. I might write down that. When we going, I might just say going to Mars, another planet. Now, if someone asked me that, if one of my students asked me that question, I would think, wow, that is an interesting question. So make sure that your questions are interesting, and that questions that you would stop and you would go, ooh, I don't know, I wonder. That's a good question. So that's number 1. When are you going to Mars? Now, this is my question. Please write your own question. So pause the video, write down the first word, when, and don't write the rest. You write your own question for when. When is Christmas coming? When is my birthday again? When are we going to? Lots of different when questions, okay? Next, so pause the video and do that. Next, the next question is where? So just write down where, pause the video, write down where, don't do any more. And think of an interesting question for where. Where does my lunch come from? Where does cheese come from? Where do balloons come from? Where is the coldest place in the world? Where is the hottest place in the world? These are all very, very good questions and interesting questions. So I'm going to say, for my question, where is the coldest place on Earth? And it's a question, so we need a question mark at the end. So pause the video, write down where, and then write down your own question. Don't do my question. Challenge yourself, write down one for yourself. Our next question is who. So write down who, and think of a bit of a question. Just take a moment and just wonder, who? Who is in charge of Australia? Who makes the rules? Who invented the first joke? Who made the first joke? You know, who traveled to Australia first? Who? Just think about a who question, something that's interesting and that you want to know the answer. So I'm going to write down who invented, so who made, who invented, let's think of something interesting. Who invented the wheel? So on your car or bicycle, question mark, okay, well they have wheels, but they didn't always have wheels. So someone made a wheel. It didn't just exist. They didn't find a wheel in the forest. So who invented the wheel? Write your own question, and then we're up to the next one. Pause the video, do your who question. Why? If you're really into like a type of book or a type of game, you might say, who made this game? Who made this book? Okay. Next one, why? So write down the word why, pause the video, and think of a why question. Why do I have to sleep? Why do I have to drink water? Why do I have to eat fruits and vegetables? Why am I at home? All of these questions are good, and you can write down any of them. And don't worry about your spelling, you just have a go. Sound it out, I'm going to write down, why do we need to sleep? Why do we need to sleep? That's an interesting question. I know we have to sleep, but why? Why? And our last question is how. So pause the video, write down how, make sure you've done your why question, your own why question, not mine, and think of another question for how. When I'm thinking of a how question, I think of, how does something work? How does the TV work? How does my laptop work? How do plants grow? How is rain formed? How does snow fall from the sky? Lots of different questions. Think about a how question and have a go at writing it down. I'm going to say, how do volcanoes work? Because that's interesting to me. So there you go. There's all of our questions. So we've got, so if it gets cut off at the end, so we've written our heading, 5 interesting questions. We've got the dates. And all I wanted you to write is when, and then your when sentence. Where and your where sentence. Who and your who sentence. Why, your sentence. And the last one, how, and your sentence. Now, with any of the writing that we ask you to do, we just want you to have a go, sound out the letters, chunk it if you can. And hey, when you get to the very end and you've done that, and it might take you a little while, you can go back and you can color in that square, because we've done that lesson now. So well done. So that's it. Great job, Junior Learning House. And if you've got any questions, please ask your teacher. Ask your parents if they have time to take a photo of the work and send it to us. But I'll see you all again very soon. Bye.